What is up, you guys? This is Brooke with RV with Brookie B, and I actually took the plunge. I bought myself an RV this year, and I'm a single mom, have a normal job, normal life. And when I told people that I bought myself an RV, a lot of people are really excited about it, but then others have been like, how have you been able to do that? How can you afford that? Well, you must make a lot of money. And the answer is no. Like, I just am a normal person, but I started making better decisions. And if this is something that interests you and you want to know 20 things that I am actually going to lay out here in this video, things that I did that can help you also be able to achieve your dreams and get an RV like I did, then stay tuned. This video is for you. So you might be wondering, why did I bring you to my neighborhood pool? Well, there's a very good reason for that. And that brings me to point number 1. Use what you've got, what you already pay for. Like with my HOA, the neighborhood pool, things that you have access to that you probably don't utilize enough. Come on, we're all guilty of that. I don't know how many times I said last year, even this year, and the summer's half over, I'm like, I pay for this pool, but I never go to it. Never have time. Always out, trying to go other places. Guess where I did go last year instead of this pool that I already paid for? Universal, for like $3,000. And I have this that I already pay for. Start using the things that you already have access to, that you already pay for, and making the most out of those things. If you have a lawn service, okay, and that's part of your HOA, maybe you don't have a community pool like this, then what you need to do is go out to the lawn, like pitch a chair, get a book, and enjoy that lawn service that you've paid your neighborhood to take care of, okay? Why pay to go to Universal when I have this in my backyard? That's like $3,000. If I have a $500 RV payment, and 1, and 2, and 3, that's 6 months. You can't see my other hand because I'm holding the phone. That's 6 months worth of an RV payment that I just gave to Universal instead of utilizing the funds I already gave to the HOA for this sucker. And you have your house. Like, you can't not pay your HOA. I mean, I guess you could not pay your HOA, but it's like highly frowned upon. I don't suggest it. On to the next. So since I mentioned it, the Universal trip, okay? Point number 2 is let's evaluate the trips you want to take later in the RV you want to be able to pay for versus all the other things you could do. Guess what else I did last year? I paid for. This year I had some and even for next year, I had pre-booked a couple cruises that I ended up canceling. And instead of paying that $2,500 to Carnival beginning of next year, I'm putting that money back into myself, into my kids, and into this RV. Okay, we already did the math. We knew that $3,000, that was 6 payments, right? So that one trip on Carnival that I went ahead and just said, you know what, I'm gonna need that money back. Thanks. That is 5 RV payments for me. Yeah, 5 RV payments. I can go 5 different destinations. Okay, yeah, there's a little extra money involved, but there was a little extra money involved in like drink packages and shore excursions and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna get 5 trips in my RV for that one cruise for 5 days that I would have had otherwise. Okay, I said, no, I'm gonna need that back, and I put that money back into myself instead. Bing. Okay, still at the pool. Yeah, get my money's worth out of this sucker. Since I mentioned the shore excursions for the cruise, that I ended up getting that money back, okay, investing that back in myself and doing 5 months worth of RV payments instead of going on that one Carnival cruise for 5 days. Yeah, instead of having now to spend that money on excursions for the cruise. Whoo, it's humid out here. About to have to go inside for the rest of this video, y'all. Woo! Let's walk and talk, people, okay? Number 3 is kid excursions. Your kids are always wanting to do something, okay? Whether it's your kids or a mate, like whoever it is that is constantly like, let's go do something. Let's go spend money here or there. Let's go to the jump place. Let's, go to the roller coaster park. Like whatever it is, it's giving the power of, and this is my term, I just made this up, the free three. Yeah. So what I do is now I say, hey, guess what? I know you're going to want to do something on Saturday and probably on Sunday too. But I've already predetermined what those options are, okay? I don't say that. That's just in my mind, okay? But between you and me, I've already predetermined what those options are. And I've found 3 free things that we can do around town that I know they're gonna love. And I lay out those 3 options. They get to pick one of those 3 things. Okay, we're not the jump park and the, $100 Busch Gardens or whatever, that's not part of it. You might still be able to do something like that. You can go to an RV park that's near there with some of the money you've saved or put away. But in this case, something that's like for every weekend or, multiple times, something that's not just special, but it's common. I picked 3 free things. So one of those things could be fishing. I know he wants to go fishing, so he's probably going to choose that. Or we could go to the park and play basketball. Or we can go to the pool that I already paid for. Okay? But those are the 3 things. The free 3. Power of the free 3. Okay? Those are the things they get to choose from. And they end up being a great time. You don't have to go and pour a whole bunch of money in something that you need to be putting towards your RV payment or even the car payment of whatever it's going to take to pull that sucker. Yeah. And instead, you're still having a great time and probably even a better time enjoying them and each other doing those things than you would at a jump park or being on Busch Gardens. You can't really talk to each other when you're going 100 miles an hour on a roller coaster anyway. Okay. Ooh, okay, we're going to walk and talk now because it's very humid here. We had a lot of rain and now I'm sweating. So we're going to finish this off inside. But as I'm walking to my door, that brings me to number 4. Number 4, y'all, it's about the door. The doorbell, that rings because of the food that you order and have delivered to your house that you could have just made yourself inside. Not saying you can't order pizza or go out for a dinner, but, like me, I work all day, I got a full-time job, I got full responsibilities, it's, me and the kiddo, and sometimes I'm just tired, and I don't feel like going in the kitchen and standing there and cooking when I could just easily pick up my phone. My credit card number's already saved, and I can just say, Domino's, bring me that, or DoorDash. I had a subscription, y'all, to DoorDash. That's how much I ordered it. Well, before I started making better decisions, and now I say, hey, let's go to the store. Let's pick out something that's going to be easy. And I get a lot of times crock pot meals that I can just dump into a pot. I plug it up that morning, and by the time dinner's there, I didn't have to really stand there. All I had to do was just scoop it out of a crock pot, and we had amazing dinner. Okay, it was a great happy medium that did not cost a fortune. Woo, back inside. Thank goodness. I'm probably going to be sweating for the rest of this video, just so you guys know. But why am I sitting here in my dining room now? It's because of that guy right there. Yeah. It's called number 5, the gadget hole. It's like the black hole, but it's all the gadgets that you get sold instead that you usually don't use. I wish that I could say that I staged this for this video, but I did not. This thing here, it's been sitting here unplugged because A, I gotta find a place to put it. B, I gotta set it up. And C, I don't have any more space on my desk from all the other stuff that I don't need that's taken up that space. And it's literally just sat here, not used. And there's another one upstairs that isn't even hooked up right. It has an error message on it, and it's been that way for 3 weeks, y'all. Hasn't even been reset. Nope. It's oh, your device isn't connected or whatever it says. I don't know. It's in my kiddo's room. But any device you have for 3 weeks that's sitting there like this, you probably just need to evaluate, did I ever really even need that thing? And can you possibly sell something like that for maybe a discounted price is going to give you a lot more value than sitting there unplugged is. You know, it's like not getting sucked down the gadget hole, okay? The new phones, like extra iPods. Oh, it's time to upgrade your Apple Watch or what? That's my dog trying to get into the litter box. I have this dining room chair there to block him from getting into the litter box, but I actually pulled it over here so I can, and this is real life. I'm sorry, I have animals and a nice home. I got a beautiful home, but I just have, that's the only place I have to put that. And that leads me to another thing too, number 6. Like, do you really need everything that you've got? Like, you already probably have a space that's too big for yourself, right? And you got a lot of stuff in it. And I'm sorry, I'm extremely distracted. I'm gonna have to move him. I'll be right back. Okay, so the number 5 was not getting sucked down the gadget hole, okay? Like, you don't, if it's time to upgrade your phone or your watch or whatever, it's because they just try to get you sucked into making more payments instead of being able to pay off the thing that you already got, okay? You don't always have to have like if you have like an iPhone like 9, is that fine? Like, do you really need the 14 or, you know? It's up to you to decide, but it comes down to choices, right? And if you end up making those payments towards a new device, that's less money that you're gonna have to put towards the RV or the new vehicle that you want, right? And those are some of the decisions I started making. And as I was saying, when I got very distracted by my dog Padre, by the way, it's all the stuff, okay? It takes you to number 6. It's weighing options, you know, like not accumulating clutter. And there's also like a power of like 2 to 1, I think it is. So if you're going to bring one thing in, you got to get rid of 2 things. Like, I've never done that ever, but now I've started to think, having more of like a minimalistic mindset, I guess, you know, and I have never in my lifetime like ever had that, but I've started having that now because I've started weighing the things in my mind. What's more important to me? You know, like, I literally have a stack of pencils. They're like these bougie pencils. They were $6 a box, okay? Just stay right there. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. All right. You thought I was kidding. I'm really not kidding, okay? I have 5 boxes of these bougie cute pencils because I was like, one day I'm gonna have somebody to give these to. Guess where they are, y'all? You know where they are? Where I just got them from? The bottom of my closet. Downstairs. I've had them for over a year. They were $6 a box. That's 30 bucks of nonsense sitting in the bottom of a closet. I even forgot that I bought these. I only even found them because I was looking for something else, y'all. Okay, it's not accumulating clutter. You know, just in 5 boxes, that's 30 bucks. And that's half of my gas, okay, for my new vehicle, to be able to tow my RV. Like, how many of those things do we have around our house? You know, how many things could we have walked by and actually just bought 1 box of pencils when you know you actually have somebody to give them to, instead of going and buying, you know, hoarding this many because one day you may have somebody to give them to. It's just thinking through things, and don't get something until you actually need it and have somebody to give it to, versus saying, oh, you know what, maybe in like 20 years somebody's gonna need a box of pencils. Like, why did I do that? Don't do that. So what I could have used that $30 for, look, I think it was so hot outside at the beginning of this. Am I like sweating through my shirt? That's kind of gross, but that's okay. I said it's real life, okay? I'm being real with y'all right now. So we're just gonna move on, okay? Number 7, pamper appointments, okay? We all want to pamper ourselves. We all deserve to be pampered, okay? We work hard, but it comes down to weighing options, right? And looking at the cost of those things. And can you do something a different way and still feel pampered, but not spend $80 every month or every few weeks at the nail salon? $35, y'all, I was spending at the tanning bed. I didn't even have time to go. Like, it was just shelling it out for years to the tanning place up the street. Yep, $35 a month. Do the math, times 12, okay? Nail salon, $80 a month, times 12, okay? I actually went and bought myself like this little foot bath thing, and I just did it at home. And I just put on a movie, got myself some ice cream, and I just made like my own little pamper appointment at home. Does that mean I'm never going to the nail salon again? No. But am I going now every month? No. Because I wanted an RV and I wanted a vehicle to be able to pull it. And that was more important to me than, in the experience of that with my kiddo, was more important to me than gel polish from the nail salon. So that brings me to the next thing, and that talks about cost and weighing cost and options, okay? Number 8. I think we're on 8. Yeah, 8. So if you see a pair of $150 shoes, okay? There's a lot of people that like a lot of nice shoes, and that's okay. But before you buy those, and you know that you want to get an RV, and you're going to need a vehicle or whatever to be able to tow it, okay? Go and figure out, if you're going to have this RV, where do you want to go? Where are you going to stay? How much is it going to cost to stay there each night? Okay, for the full hookups, and there's a lot of things to look into. But would you rather have this $150 pair of shoes or a 3-night stay with your family in your new RV and car to pull it instead? So maybe you can get or even like you could split the cost, you know, is there like a $75 pair of shoes that you like, okay, or a $60 pair of shoes you like? Maybe there's a pair that was popular last year, okay? I know it's like shoes are like a particular thing. I'm just using this, like pulling it out of the sky, literally as an example. But those are some of the decisions that I started making, okay? Like, do I want this $150 purse, or do I want to go and stay in the mountains for 3 nights at this, you know, RV park and have an experience with my son? I choose the RV park, okay? And so those are some of the decisions I started making. I still got a pair of shoes. They were still cute. I got them at TJ Maxx. They weren't like the ones that I wanted, but they were still super cute, and nobody knew the difference. Nobody even cares, y'all. Nobody cares, okay? But are you wanting to invest in stuff, or are you wanting to start investing more in experiences? And those are the things that I started choosing, experience over stuff. That's the kind of thing that became more important to me. On to the next. I interrupt this message to show you my little troublemaker that was in the litter box. Padre. Also, to ask you, if you have not already, please like and subscribe. Okay? On to the next. So you might be wondering why now we're at my TV. That is because number 9, pretty sure we're on number 9, is cable subscriptions, apps, okay? How many do you really watch? Where's my hand? How many do you really watch? Okay? For me, YouTube, Discovery Plus, Netflix, and I have Amazon Prime. That is not something I'm willing to sacrifice. So obviously I get Prime Video. I don't need anything else. Like, if you look at and just start sorting through, paying attention to all the subscriptions you have. I had subscriptions for like the audible.com one, the Kindle Unlimited thing. I had subscriptions for like the Petco. I had something for CVS. Like, they were sending me coupons. I didn't even have time to open that mail. I'm just too busy. I was having $10 coupons, I guess, for this thing that I was paying for, and haven't even been using them. Like, who does that? A lot of us. And we don't even realize it. You're not going to believe this. But when I went through all the subscriptions that I had and things that I was paying for, some I didn't even realize I was paying for them, including the food service meals, like I was doing the HelloFresh and all that kind of stuff. And I consider that, yeah, that's like the meal thing, which was earlier in the video, but it's also what I consider a subscription. And is that something I can get rid of to be able to do a different way? I had, and on top of it, the audible.com, I had like 7 credits on audible.com of things I hadn't even used. Audible books I couldn't even download, don't even have time to listen to them all. But I was paying for this service, y'all. Like, why was I doing that? I sorted through all the subscriptions that I had. It was like over $300 in savings, y'all, like a month. So if you haven't, do that like yesterday and get rid of that stuff. You know, if you want an Audible book, buy one book, like when you have time to listen to it. Don't pay for a subscription. For me, I like the idea of being able to do those things. I like the idea of having the time, like, oh, I want to learn this, I want to learn that. But the reality didn't match up with the want or just the hope that I was going to have all this time to do it. But I didn't. And I was just wasting money for something that I wasn't even using. So make sure you're not doing that. Next up, number 10. Actually, that was number 10. I just didn't label it as number 10 because I kind of just led into the whole subscription thing after I was talking about cable on the app. So now I'm actually on number 11. And sorry, it's kind of hard to keep up with what number I'm on as I'm like, you know, such a chatty Cathy here. But 11, that's where we are. Which leads me to this area of my house. If you can't tell, that's a treadmill that has now become like a rack for rugs I don't want my dog to chew on. My son has his like armband things that he like uses to be able to stretch his arms. It's folded up. It has dog toys on it. I don't even use it. So number 11 is, can you sell something to put towards, say that 3 times fast. Can you sell something like the treadmill I'm not using in order to be able to put that money now towards the RV and the car? And turns out I did. Sold this sucker for $150 and they're coming to get it. And now it's not going to be this nuisance in my living room that's holding a rug that I'm not even using. It's now $150 that pays half of my new car payment. Yep, half of it for the RV that I pull. Speaking of getting money for things, next one, number 12, is paying yourself. Like stowing money away to where you don't even see it. Like it comes in, it goes straight somewhere else. So I've done like Robinhood. I don't have a lot of money to put into stocks and stuff. There's actually ways, I don't even know about that kind of thing, okay? I just took a little bit of money and I just put it over into Robinhood. They make some of the decisions for me and I don't even look at it, okay? It's just there. Like I know it's there. Every now and then, randomly, I'll go look at it. And it's not even a lot of money, but even if it's like, you know, $300, $500, like randomly, or $50 randomly that you just throw in there, it's making you money. You know, it's something that you still have to hold on to that hopefully is making you money a little bit, even if it's just a couple bucks, you know, instead of going out of your wallet and out of your grips, it's staying in your hands, okay? And also a savings account. You know, what if this RV you get is gonna need repairs? How you gonna pay for that? I have $50 a month right now, and it's not a lot, but right now, out of my paycheck, it goes somewhere else, like over into, Rocket Money, yeah. So I have like that account, and I have like a little vacation account. So I have like $50 goes towards vacations, and then when I want to go to an RV park, I pull that. Right now, I have $300 in there. Like I didn't even know I had that money. Okay, it just has gone somewhere else. That's somewhere I don't look at, I don't see, and now I have $300. That doesn't sound like a lot, but guess what? That gives me several nights stay at a county park that has full hookups for my new RV in the car, you know, and to have experiences instead of stuff. But it's something that I never even looked at. It just came out of my check. It just went over there, and it exists now, you know, and I don't touch it but if I want to go on a trip, I have it there to use. And even for the RV repairs, you know, I have a couple $100 in that little account. You can, with this Rocket Money app, you can actually, and you can probably do it with your bank too, but I did it there because I don't want to see that money. As far as I know, it does not exist, okay? I have the $50 now has turned into like, I think just since I got the RV, it's like $350, like $400 or something like that. Like I already have that set aside for RV repairs. I don't need a repair on my RV right now. It's new, thankfully. You know, it's smaller, and that's something that I chose. I didn't want to get an older one that was really big. I wanted a newer one that was smaller. And also, that was part of the decision with the type of vehicle that I wanted. How much money did I want to spend on a vehicle, you know, that I was going to have to tow it with. There's a lot of things that you need to think about that maybe you didn't think about that you need to kind of set money aside for. And excuse me, Padre, he is just trying to steal the show here with this video. But the point being, pay yourself, okay? And stash little things away. 25 bucks, 10 bucks, 15 bucks. Let me try to get him to stop. Point being, that's Halo. That's my other dog. It's like right when I started recording, she was like, roof. Point being is that it adds up, okay? $10 here, $15 there. The $30 on the freaking pencils, I have nobody to give those things to. That could have gone into the little vacation bucket. You know, that could have gone into the RV repair. The thing is that you're going to have to plan for these types of things. And you want to try to do it by paying yourself first, even with 401k, things like that. You know, it doesn't have to be $1 million you set aside. Every little bit helps, but pay yourself first and think ahead. That's what I started doing. On to 13. Speaking of paying yourself first, auto pay, y'all. Auto pay your bills, all of them. So that way, you know all your bills are getting paid and you have written out a budget. Budgets are not fun. They flat out suck, okay? I don't even like to do that kind of thing. It stresses me out, but I had to do it. I had to start paying attention to how much money I actually had coming in and through fine-tooth comb, watched it for a good month at least, maybe even 2, to see what was really coming out. That's also how I was able to catch some of the subscriptions. I was like, wait, what? I'm paying for that? And some of them were coming out of my credit card. And I'm like, I kept wondering why is my credit card bill like that? But I never took the time to really go in and look at it until when I did, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know Spotify was coming out of my Capital One card. I'm getting charged interest on that. I want to keep Spotify, but I don't want to pay interest on it to Capital One. So I switched it around of how I pay it. And now it's, I'm still paying for Spotify, but I'm not paying the interest on top of it. And I'm paying attention to it. Okay. And I also have my bills now on auto pay. Like they just go, like it's out of my account. Okay. And I also have another separate checking account that's my spending money. All my bill money goes in this account. Any spending money I have goes in that account. If it's not in that account, I don't get to spend it because it's already spent. Since we're talking about Capital One and spending and bills, let's talk about the credit card crutch, y'all. The credit card crutch. It's awful, okay? And it's best if you can't pay cash, try not to do it. And get those credit cards paid down, because if you look at how much money you are spending in interest, it'll make your tummy hurt. Also, something that I started to do is pay a little more towards my bills. So if my loans, I should say. So if my car payment's, $350, then I'm going to say that it's $400 and I'm going to pay $400, because if you look at your loans, like the one loan that I have right now, because in the random things that come up, right, that you also need to be having that little, like, pay yourself first little bucket on the side for, my AC and furnace just went out in my house. Went out. Yeah. Like $10,000 later, I have a bill now for this new furnace and air conditioning unit that I needed, which, by the way, isn't even working. I don't know if you heard when I was walking around earlier. I have a floor fan blasting right now because this expensive new AC unit that I just had installed is not even working. It's like 80 degrees in my house right now, y'all. If you can see me sweating. Yeah, I've been inside for a little while now, but it's because my house is literally hot as Hades. Anyway, I'm going to get them to come out and take care of that. But point being is, instead of like $165 a month, like what the payment says, I'm actually paying like $185 a month right now to try to pay it off faster. Because if you really look at the longevity of that loan, instead of paying like $10,000 for an AC that doesn't work right now, I'd be paying like double that, almost like 20 grand or something, like some astronomical amount after, X number of years of when I financed this thing for. So always pretend like your loans are more expensive than they actually are and try to pay those suckers off way sooner. Okay, now we're on number 16. Pretty sure it's 16. And I said we're going to 20, okay? So here's a word I want you to repeat back after me. Ready? no. Your turn. The power of no, people. It is a powerful word. And one of the things I started saying no to, and this is actually a very good lesson for my little kiddo, is when something gets broken and is not taken care of well, it's no, I'm not buying another one. Okay? I don't know how many PlayStation controllers I have that have gotten like torn up or messed up, and I just go buy another one. 80 bucks here, 80 bucks there. And now I've just said, no, this is literally the last one. I'm not buying anymore. And there was a TV that, got broken, and I was like, no, okay, well, we have 3 other TVs in this house. You're going to have to use one of those. Okay. I just saved myself like $200 with that. I've saved myself $80 not buying another PlayStation remote. Okay. A computer screen was just hit with a fishing pole. Why there's a fishing pole in the house that even is there to hit a computer screen, especially when I said don't have the fishing pole inside? It's a lesson now. The screen is busted. And guess who's not buying another computer screen? That's another few $100, okay? It's the power of no. And if somebody says, oh, I want to go to this restaurant or that restaurant, invite them over and say, hey, let's just have a beer here. Or, hey, let's just have a, progressive dinner instead of going out to a really fancy dinner. Let's go to a couple different friends' houses. It's being creative and saving money. And it's not necessarily saying, sometimes it is just flat out saying no. Okay, I'm just not rebuying broken things, not doing it, especially if it could have been prevented and I wasn't listened to, and that's how I got broken. Yeah, lessons learned. But like I'm a sucker, and I'm like, oh, I always want us to have all these great things. We have 3 other TVs in the house. Okay, you're gonna have to watch one of those now. And I'm not saying no, I don't want to go out to dinner with a whole bunch of friends. I'm saying, is there a way that we can do it that would probably even be a better experience anyway and save me some money along the way? You might want to go and it might just be no. Sorry, I'm saving for something and I'd love for you to come over and us to be able to hang out, but I'm sorry, no, I can't go out to that dinner. I'm going to just make dinner here instead. I still want that time with you. Maybe you can go grab a cup of coffee instead of having to go have, this full experience at a dinner somewhere. There's ways that you can do things that can still be fulfilling for you, still help you connect with others, and save you in the wallet. 17. Okay, we're almost done. I know I'm quite chatty, okay, but I want to make sure that I wasn't just rushing through all these, and I was really taking time to explain some of these things to you and my experiences. So thank you for hanging on. Again, if you have not already liked and subscribed, please do. This channel is new, and I am going to be posting content every week. My goal is to do it on Sundays, so if you can, please like and subscribe. You'll also be able to see some of my travels, a couple different RV parks I've already gone to, videos I still want to post, some tips, tricks, hacks, also some things that you probably didn't need to buy that I bought. I got all excited about having my RV. Probably shouldn't, not that you don't ever need those things, but I probably could have waited, which also could help me save a little money. But anyway, there's all kinds of videos that are to come. So please follow me on this journey. On to the next. Let's talk about 17. We're almost done. Don't leave yet. 17, looking at yourself as a business. Look at yourself like a business, like all the other businesses that you invest in, okay? I just went on a trip. I got to stay in an RV park. It was only $38 a night. And the other people that were there, they ended up staying at a Holiday Inn. And that Holiday Inn was like $125, $150 a night. So instead of paying $150 a night, yes, I'm paying for an RV, which right now is more expensive, but think about all the Holiday Inns and trips and stuff like that, all the flights and things. These dogs, they're chasing the cat. Hold on. All right, they're getting ants in their pants, so I am going to have to start wrapping this up. But 17, thinking of yourself as a business, and instead of investing in the Holiday Inn, invest in yourself. Pour that money into yourself, okay? It's the RV with Brookie B, okay? Instead of spending $150 a night at a Holiday Inn somewhere, I'm spending $30 a night, $38 a night at a county park in my RV, and the money that's left over, that gap, because I was going to do this trip anyway, that money, instead of going to like Delta for flights or the Holiday Inn for hotels, that money now is coming back into me, okay? I'm not just tossing it away out the window to Holiday Inn and Delta, okay? I'm putting that money into me, into my family, into something that we are going to own, into the RV. Now I want to talk to you about number 18 is getting excited about the experiences that you're going to have, okay? And when you start getting excited and you start using your time to research the different RVs that options there are, the different vehicles options there are for that RV, the places you want to go. You know, there's tons of YouTube videos out there if you want to go to California or go to this park or that park. There's so much content out there that you can spend your time researching those things and starting to fuel this dream you have, instead of spending that time at Home Goods or TJ Maxx spending money that now you're not going to have to be able to invest in those things. That's what I started doing. Instead of going to get stuff, you know, because now I'm wanting experiences over stuff, okay? Instead of going and spending my time going to look at stuff and get statues and pillows and all this kind of stuff I just don't need. Like, I have 2 closets full of that kind of stuff. I don't need that stuff, okay? So I started saying, well, you know, instead of going to do that kind of thing, I'm actually going to stay home and I'm going to start researching about this RV. And I'm going to start, you know, looking into this different parks I want to go to. And those are the things I started, instead of investing my money at places like that. Sorry, now you hear the cat. Like, literally a zoo here. And I'm just trying to do these videos for you guys. So almost done. Stay with me. We're on to 19 here in a second. But, you know, look at your time as very valuable. And instead of going somewhere and spending your time, you know, pissing your money down a hole, pretty much buying stuff that you really don't need, that you already have like 25 of those things, you know, excuse my French, but use that time now investing in yourself and investing in your dream. Those are the things really in the long run that matter. This one, 19, it doesn't cost money, but it can cost you, and it can cost you your dream. And that's why I wanted to include it here, because there is value to that. And there was to me as well. It's, you know, don't let fear hold you back. You know, growing up, I had a great family, and we just went to the beach. I never went camping. I didn't even know until like a month ago how to even light a fire, like a campfire, you know, or cook outside on a griddle or on a campfire. I never hooked up an RV before. I never hooked something up to a vehicle. I've never done any sewer dumps or anything. I never did any of that stuff. I've wanted an RV, and for some reason I've had this like passion inside of me. Like, I've always liked these tiny houses and the RVs and stuff, and I've wanted one for years, like 15, 20 years. And finally I was like, you know, first I kept making an excuse I didn't have money. Well, then I started looking at all this stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I do have money. I just spend it in the wrong places. And then I'm like, well, I don't really know how to do any of this stuff. And I was like, no, you know what? No, you're going to force yourself to learn these things, because I'm, you know, time's a ticking, okay? You know, almost 50. And, you know, now half of my life I've gone without something that I've been passionate about for quite a long time and have really wanted, right? So now I started readjusting the way I think, being smarter with the money that I spend, and stop being afraid. And now I just did it, you know? I didn't hook a trailer up until I actually showed up to Camping World, bought my camper. They helped me hook it up. And then I had to get to the place I store it, which that's another thing, cost you need to consider. You know, there's a lot of things that go into that you need to make sure you have your money for. And that's why you don't go buy, you know, $30 worth of pencils that you're going to have in your closet for like 5 years for nothing. You need to pay for storage, or figure out where you're going to store your RV. Anyway, let's get back on track here. But I had to go to storage and figure out how to unhook this thing by myself. Yeah, I made myself, that very next weekend, I made myself, y'all, book a RV park to go and try to figure this thing out. Luckily, there was people at the RV park that could tell I was struggling a little bit, and they were like, everybody is so nice and helpful. There's always somebody around to be able to help you out. Don't let fear keep you from your dream. Like, I learned so much in that day and a half. That's a whole nother video content. Enough for content for another video, but I learned so much, and now I'm very comfortable doing it. And I would have never known if I kept saying, well, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. If I kept making excuses keeping me from my dream, you know, please don't do that. Okay, somewhere along the line, I think I misclicked in my counting. I think I already maybe did 20, but now we're just not going to care. Okay, if this is 20, if this is 21, it just is what it is. And sorry if I look like I can't count. I really can. It was just hard to keep up with which number I was on because I was talking so much. But my next one is, reevaluate the other things that you buy or use around the house. Okay, so paper towels, that's one thing. I buy all kinds of paper towels. I'm constantly using paper towels like crazy. Like they need a forest of trees just to supply me with paper towels. And now I just have hand towels and I just wash them. I have one hand towel a day. If I don't have to worry about it getting yucky, I don't use it for multiple days, because that's kind of my thing. I was like, well, I don't really want to use anything with germs on it. Well, I have one for each day. I wash stuff a couple times a week. I throw them in the washer and I just reuse those. Yeah, I still have paper towels, but I usually actually use them in the RV now on my trips instead of like constantly like running out of them here at home. That's just one minor purchase, but it adds up over time, right? Also, K-cups versus a pot of coffee that you actually just have to wait for it to brew, 8 cups at a time instead of being able to give you 1 cup immediately. The convenience is nice, but how much is that convenience costing you? And, could you spend 5 extra minutes watching coffee brew instead of having to have that K-cup to run out the door? Also, Starbucks, y'all, like you can make that stuff at home, and $8 a coffee versus 8 cups a pot, and you have a whole bag of coffee. Like these are some of the decisions that you need to make and evaluate. Really, I cannot stress it enough. Pay attention to what you buy. And guess what? I didn't get a raise to be able to get this RV and this vehicle that I got. I just readjusted the money I already had and was literally flushing it down a toilet practically. Audiobooks, 7 credits of audiobooks. Like at one point, HelloFresh, I had 4 brown bags. I was only getting 2 a week. I had 4 brown bags because we were always at baseball practice or running around or whatever. I wasn't even home to make them. I had to do crock pot meals, or, we ran through drive-thrus or, we were out of town. It was things like this, like the idea of it was great, but reality, it wasn't something that made sense financially, and it wasn't something I even had time to use. Don't fall in love with an idea. Only buy what you use, and the things that you buy, is it worth it to you? Instead of would you rather have K-cups, or would you rather, and paper towels, or would you rather have a pot of coffee, use hand towels, and have that money now to be able to pay for the storage for the RV? Usually the money's actually there. You just have to look, and you have to take a step back and say, do I really need this subscription? Do I really want to pay Holiday Inn and I could be paying myself? Do I want to go on a cruise for 5 days, or do I want to pay 5 months worth of an RV payment? Like those are the decisions. Like I still have great experiences. I may not be going on this cruise on this gigantic ship, next year, but I'm going to have like 5 trips for that in this RV with my kiddo, camping and making memories and fishing and, all these things. I'm going to have, not only am I going to have experiences, I'm going to have more for the investment. And all I had to do was like literally get rid of cable TV and stop buying a buttload of pencils, okay, that I don't even give away. So, really, there's more to it than that, obviously, but it's simple, So yes, you can have an RV and you can have a car to pull it, but you have to start making, the right decisions. And in order to be able to have those things, you sometimes have to sacrifice, but not really. I still have a great life, I still get to drink a cup of coffee. I'm just not buying K-cups out the wazoo. I'm buying a bag of coffee and brewing a pot like we did in the old days. So I hope this information helped you. If you've stayed this whole time listening, thank you so much. Again, please like and subscribe. I'm going to link a video. I don't have many yet, but I'm going to have a lot more of one of my most recent trips that I just took to Cabot's Creek Park. And if you ever want to go to the mountains of Virginia, I would have never known about that place if I didn't have my RV and I was staying in the Holiday Inn where everybody else was staying. I would have never found this little gem in North Tazewell, Virginia, in the mountains. You have got to see it. It was only like $38 a night, I think I paid, and had full hookups. I had my own kitchen in the RV. We had great experiences. It was like, there's not enough money in the world that can replace that experience that I was able to have because of the decisions that I made in order to be able to get here. So it's never too late. And please comment as well and let me know what you're going to do, and don't be afraid to start small. Maybe it's just camping at first and then it's buying an RV, but it's almost like robbing Peter to pay Paul, I guess, but within your own accounts and your own money. And it's just making better decisions and saying, hey, do I really want to go get my nails done? Or do I want to spend a day camping with my kid or my loved one, or even just with myself, like giving myself that time and experience, going a hike or whatever it is you want to do. Just sit there, read a book, do nothing, watch TV in the RV. I don't know what you want to do. But the thing is that there's so much more to this life than stuff. And I just decided that those were the things that I was going to focus on. So can't wait to hear your experiences, your stories. Hope this helped. On to the next, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye.